Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I want to talk about the JonBenet Ramsey case. Every few years, something regarding this case shows up on, the timeline for one of my social media accounts. And I find the details of this case to be really intriguing. And so I'll watch like one video and then one video will turn into several videos. So I'm currently binge watching information about this case, even though I know pretty much all the details. I decided that I wanted to order the highest rated books on the JonBenet Ramsey case. And so I ordered a book from Amazon called The Police Files by the National Enquirer. That's going to come in a few days. I also ordered another book called Foreign Faction by James Kohler. He was one of the investigators on the case. And I also ordered Steve Thomas's book called Inside the Ramsey Investigation. Those are some of the highest rated books on the JonBenet Ramsey case. So Steve Thomas's book, I bought the Audible version and I could not stop listening to it. So yeah, right now I'm binge watching material regarding the JonBenet Ramsey case. So there are multiple theories on what could have possibly happened to JonBenet Ramsey. If you have been following this case for a long time, if you've taken the time to really binge watch videos and read articles and really, collect all the data and all the evidence so that you can draw your own conclusion, there are just multiple scenarios that people have come up with. But the thing is, nobody knows for sure who killed JonBenet except for JonBenet, the person that killed her, and whoever helped cover it up. Those are the only individuals that know for sure what happened to her. Everybody else, including, the police, the FBI, even the public, everybody else, we can only draw conclusions, but the conclusions have to be drawn based off of what the evidence says, because evidence is basically breadcrumbs. They lead you in a certain direction. So after spending time binge watching details on this case, there are two theories to me that sound the most plausible. One of them is the pineapple theory and the other one is the bedwetting theory. So let me tell you what they are. With the pineapple theory, so JonBenet and her family, they went to a friend's house. There was a Christmas party. They came home from the Christmas party. According to her dad, she was fast asleep. She never woke up. The mom said she changed her and put her to bed. She woke up the next morning and her daughter was gone, and that's what the mom said. The dad said that the son and the daughter, JonBenet and her brother Burke, they never woke up. They slept through the night. They were both asleep when they got home from the party. That's a story that the dad and the mom, Patsy and John, have been telling all these years, right? So not too long ago, Burke came out and admitted that after they got home from the party, he actually did not go straight to bed. He stayed up and played with some of his new Christmas toys, which makes perfect sense. What kid goes to bed around Christmas time? They want to stay up and play with their toys. His dad had been saying for years that he didn't go back downstairs, that he slept right through the night, which wasn't true. He did go back downstairs and play with his Christmas toys, which means that he would have been downstairs playing with his toys right around the time that JonBenet got killed. Now, the thing about it, with the pineapple theory, the investigators, they found undigested pineapple in her digestive tract, not in her stomach because it didn't make it to her stomach. She was killed shortly after she ate the pineapple. With the pineapple theory, there was a bowl of pineapples and cream on the kitchen table. The parents said that they didn't know where the bowl came from. They don't know where the pineapple came from. They don't know where the glass came from. The crazy thing is that there are pictures of the Ramsey home with that glass and that bowl in the background of the picture. So we know for sure that it was their bowl and it was their glass. And the chunks of pineapple that were in the bowl, they came from a can that the Ramseys had purchased. So obviously the pineapple was theirs, the bowl was theirs, the glass was theirs. Even though they said it wasn't, obviously it was. I mean, that's ridiculous. Why would a kidnapper bring a pineapple? Anyways. So undigested pineapple was found in JonBenet Ramsey's digestive tract. It didn't make it to her stomach, which means that she was killed shortly after eating the pineapple, which means someone gave her pineapple right before she died. There's also a big giant flashlight on the kitchen table. Nobody knows where it came from or how it got there. The dad said he had no clue who the flashlight belonged to or where it came from. The flashlight was a gift to him from his son. So I don't know why he said that, but the flashlight was a gift to him from his older son. His son that he had before he had Patsy. So in case you don't know, JonBenet, she had a huge fracture in her skull. The fracture cracked her skull in half. It didn't break the skin, there was no bleeding, but it did crack her skull in half. But what actually killed her was that she was strangled to death. So someone cracked her skull open, not saying that they did it on purpose, but some kind of way her skull got cracked open, and then she was strangled to death with a garrote that was tied around her neck, and it strangled her. So with the pineapple theory, apparently Burke was eating pineapple. The theory is that she snatched a piece of his pineapple and took off running. He took the flashlight and smacked her in the head with it. He probably didn't really mean to hurt her. He didn't realize how hard he hit her. And if you have children, or if you have brothers and sisters, things like that do happen. Younger siblings, they do bug their older siblings. Sometimes older siblings bully their younger siblings. Sometimes they snap and they'll quickly smack the younger sibling, but they don't realize that they're bigger and stronger than them. They don't realize how badly they can hurt them. That's just a totally normal thing with families. And so the theory is that Burke smacked her in the head with a flashlight, didn't realize how hard he hit her. He ended up cracking her skull open, and the mother panicked and then staged the kidnapping. It staged the entire kidnapping to make it seem like someone broke in and did it to protect her son. That's the pineapple theory. With the bedwetting theory, and that is a plausible theory. It's not ridiculous at all. There's undigested pineapple in her stomach and a bowl of pineapple on the kitchen table. So she ate pineapple right before she died, and her mother and her brother's fingerprints are on the glass of tea and the bowl of pineapple. So it's not a ridiculous theory. The other theory is the bedwetting theory. The mom said she put her to bed in a red turtleneck, but when her body was found, she did not have on a red turtleneck. The red turtleneck was balled up in her bathroom and it was wet. So the theory is that she wet the bed in the middle of the night. Her mom woke up to change her, and apparently, I guess her wetting the bed triggered the mom's anger. And so with that theory, so the thing is that JonBenet had like some type of mark around her neck, but it was separate from her being strangled. There was some kind of mark on her neck where they believed that someone grabbed her by her collar and twisted her collar. What I believe happened, if the bedwetting theory is accurate, and of course we'll never know, this is all just speculation. If that theory is accurate, she probably wet the bed, her mom tried to change her, she was giving her mom a hard time because her and her mom had argued earlier that day. Her mom probably grabbed her and tried to pull her into the bathroom, and I think she slipped and hit her head on the bathtub. That's what cracked her skull open, and then her mom panicked and staged the whole kidnapping. Because she did not have on what her mother put her to bed in when they found her body. Even though she didn't have on what her mom put her to bed in. She had on something completely different. And there were like animal hairs around her vagina, and I think the mom had probably just wiped her vagina, and the investigators feel that she probably aggressively wiped her vagina. She was probably agitated that she had wet the bed. And there was also a bag of Pampers hanging out of one of the cabinets. So that's why the theory was that she had wet the bed, which triggered the mom's anger, and that's the theory, that her wetting the bed upset her mom. And Patsy, who's the mother, Patsy had been drinking. She was stressed out. They had a trip to take the next morning that she didn't really want to take, but she had to. Her and JonBenet had been arguing earlier that day, and so that probably, if that theory is accurate, then her wetting the bed might have triggered her anger. And like I said, I think the mom probably grabbed her by her collar and tried to pull her into the bathroom. Maybe her mom tried to change her and she wanted to argue with her, because stuff like that happens with kids. And she probably snatched her harder than she meant to, and she slipped, hit her head on the bathtub, which cracked her skull open. And then the mom staged the kidnapping. And the whole kidnapping was staged. The writing and the ransom note was staged. Like, all of that was very theatrical. Like, she's 6 years old. Why would you need to put tape over her mouth? Why would you need to tie her hands? Why would you need to strangle her? I mean, she's a 6-year-old child. You could kill her very easily without using any of that extra stuff. And so whoever did that, they staged it to make it look theatrical and dramatic. And same thing with the ransom note. It was 3 pages long. There was all this theatrical writing in it. And her mother was a theatrical person. She was an entertainer. She was a journalism major, and the dad was more of a reserved person. And the brother was known to have emotional outbursts and be a little bit moody. So that's why I think the mom or the brother killed her by accident, and then the mom covered it up. Because the evidence doesn't actually point to the dad. It actually points to Patsy, the mother. And also, the Ramsey's friends and neighbors think that they killed their daughter. And also their housekeeper, their former housekeeper, also thinks that they killed their daughter. And they think that it was an accident, and I think it was too. I think some kind of accident happened, and then the mom panicked to cover it up, and I think the dad just woke up the next morning. I think he was able to figure out, I'm sure he recognized his wife's handwriting, and I'm sure he recognized her style of communication. I'm sure he was able to figure out that she staged the whole thing. Every item that was used to tie her up came from the mother's art, her art toolkit. Every item that was used came from her art toolkit. The ransom note was written with her notepad. It was 3 pages long. Who writes a 3-page ransom note? The thing that's really unfortunate is that the Ramseys tried to accuse their friends of killing their daughter, which is crazy. Which is why their friends think that they did it. The fact that they tried to throw their own friends under the bus, so they lost all their friends, and rightfully so. Their friends that may or may not have been in the house that night might have killed their daughter. Meanwhile, the 3 people that were absolutely in the house with her that night did not kill her. Absolutely didn't kill her, which I think that kind of logic makes no sense at all. There was no evidence of an intruder. There was a broken window in the basement. But if you've been following the details of the case, there's dust and leaves as well as spider webs around the window that were completely undisturbed, which debunks the intruder theory. Yes, JonBenet had like a big balcony next to her window, but there was no sign of forced evidence, like none. There was no sign of forced evidence, none. So I'm just going by what the evidence is saying. Either I think the mother or the brother did this, the mom panicked and covered it up. The dad just kind of walked into it the next morning, and then he had to make a decision. Do I turn my wife in and break up my family and let my son grow up without his mother? Or do I keep my mouth shut and keep my family together? And I think he just decided to keep his mouth shut. So anytime the Ramseys accuse someone else of killing their daughter, nothing happens. But then anytime someone else points out, well, I think the Ramseys did this because of X, Y, and Z, they get sued. So, I mean, they use their money to bully everybody into silence, which makes them look even more guilty. So those are the 2 of the most popular theories on what happened to her. The bedwetting theory, the pineapple theory, the intruder theory. There's no evidence of an intruder. There isn't any. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I can't wait for my other 2 books to come. I think I know as much as you can know about this case already, but still, I still like listening to other people, draw conclusions. I like other people's analyses. I like listening to different things just in case I learned something that I didn't already know. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Again, we don't know for sure who killed her. Nobody knows who killed her except for her. She's deceased, but no one knows who killed her except for her, the person that did it, and whoever helped them cover it up. Nobody else knows what happened to her because we weren't there. All we can do is draw conclusions based off of what the evidence tells us, and the evidence does point to her parents, specifically her mother. Anyways, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye.